because they don't have enough opportunities here. We're going to turn the corner on that. Here are some ideas on how we're going to begin to address that. First of all, we need to reduce the tax burden on families and on small businesses so the businesses can begin to become more healthy, they can invest and reinvest in themselves, they can expand, create new markets, and create the kind of jobs that we care about. So by bringing down the spending at the state capital level, we're going to begin the process of lowering the pressure on taxes. That's the first thing we're going to do. The second thing we're going to do is to start to address our needed infrastructure projects. We have roads and bridges and tunnels that badly need upgrading and repair. We have a stimulus money from the federal government, billions of dollars of stimulus money. Very little of that money is going to infrastructure, for critical infrastructure. That is wrong. That money's gone to backstop operating costs, which we're never going to be able to sustain. And so what we need to do is to invest strategically in infrastructure, which creates jobs right away and increases productivity for a stronger, more independent society. So invest in infrastructure. The third thing I would say that we need to do is to focus on education, because no great society, no great state, no great community can long last without having a first-in-class educational system. We need an educational system that works for every child, challenges every child, encourages every child. We need an educational system that puts our children first unquestionably. And we need to do some things right away that will help us get there. Number one, we need to reward the best teachers. We need to encourage innovation in science and in math, because we know that's where innovation and creativity comes from. We need to make sure that our schools are rated, and the ones that are failing, we give them the tools to get better. And we need to lift the cap on charter schools, because we know by entering a charter school, many children feel encouraged to stay in school and get their high school diploma, which is a key credential for them to go on and have a successful life. And let's not stop there, because we're one of the blessed states in terms of having a great post-secondary educational system. We have over 300 colleges and universities in this state of New York, many of whom are right here in our backyard. It's a huge asset for us, and they can become catalysts for innovation and for creativity and for new business creation. So we need to look at these universities. One that the chairman knows very well, for example, Stony Brook, one of the flagship SUNY system universities, and we need to give them more flexibility to keep more of the tuition money and not send it away to Albany so they can go out and hire the best faculty in the country, that they can compete with the University of Virginia's and the University of Michigan's and the UCLA's, because we can be the best, and we should provide the best education for our kids, and we should be using those universities, again, as partners and catalysts for economic growth. The last thing that we need to accomplish with the three things right now is to get our integrity back in our state's capital. Because yes, we need to get our fiscal house in order. Yes, we need to lower our taxes. Yes, we need to get back and play offense on jobs. But none of those things are going to be possible if the people don't trust the people that they send to represent them in our state's capital. Things are not good. Ladies and gentlemen, we know how bad things are up in Albany. We just had an individual who sits in the state Senate who was not just accused but convicted of a domestic violence incident, which cannot stand. We have somebody who now sits at the top of the state Senate right now, who has been challenged and accused of wrongdoing, but still sits there. We know things are not going very well. We need to rebuild our state government from the bottom up. We need sweeping fundamental change. We need to start with a constitutional convention and begin the process of rebuilding our state and fundamentally rethinking the way our government works. Because our government has not worked for 20 or 30 years, it's not working now, and it's not going to work in the future without the kind of sweeping change that I'm calling for. We need to think about term limits and initiative and referendum. We need our state agencies that issue $140 billion in state debt to be more accountable, because nobody elects them. We need to make sure that there are conflict of interest rules and other provisions that are going to make sure that the people themselves have a better level of trust in the people that we send to Albany. All those things are so important, and we're going to get them done together. And we stand here appropriately at the American Legion Hall because every generation of New Yorkers, our parents and our grandparents, and the ones that came before them, made sacrifices. They did the tough things so the next generation could have a better life. And now it's our turn. It's our turn not to look the other way. It's our turn to step forward and to challenge what we have right now, a dysfunctional, flawed, failed government that is not serving the people of New York, that offers us little hope and provides no hope for our children. It is up to us to do this together. We begin that process today as we begin to work together and reach out to friends and family, to raise our voice in saying that there's a better way, a stronger way, for an independent New York, for a New York that can provide the kind of future that we want for ourselves and for our children and for our children's children.
Yeah.
I want to thank all of you for a lot of different reasons. I want to thank all of you because it's over a year until the next governor's election. And I know that seems like a long time off, but it really isn't. The group behind me, the town leaders and the county chairman, have done something decisive. They've been the first in the state to step forward and say, we cannot wait any longer to hope for a failed government to get better, because it's not going to get better on its own. The situation is not self-correcting. We cannot afford to allow our children to flee to other states for jobs and economic opportunity, all because they lack pride in this state that we once called the Empire State. It will only change if we stick together and we do what needs to be done in order to take back this government for the people of the state of New York.
Let's hear it. Lazio for New York.
Good job. Thanks for coming, everyone. And hey, we got to make sure that there's some elected officials in place for Rick next year. So let's get out in the streets. Let's keep the traction.